All right, welcome to our deep dive into Solo Leveling Season 2. You guys ready to get into it?
Oh, absolutely.
I know everyone is so excited to get up to speed on the latest with this new season, so let's not waste any time and jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Awesome. We've got all the notes and like a whole stack of articles here all about the release schedule and some juicy details, I've got to say, from those first 2 episodes.
Yeah, and what's crazy is how much excitement surrounds this season already.
Oh, I know. It's wild.
Yeah, I mean, the premiere episode on Crunchyroll, it got 129,000 likes in just 24 hours.
Yeah. Talk about a record-breaking return.
Totally.
It seems like, everyone is just absolutely buzzing about the animation as well. They really stepped things up a notch visually.
For sure.
But, for anyone who might be joining this world, like for the first time, can you maybe give us like a quick rundown of what Solo Leveling is all about?
Sure. So, Solo Leveling takes place in a world that's overrun by these terrifying monsters. And these monsters, they emerge from these rifts that are called gates.
Okay.
And so to fight this threat, there are these individuals with special abilities. They're known as hunters, and they fight to protect humanity from these monsters.
Right, right.
And our main character, Sung Jinwoo, is one such hunter.
Okay.
But he starts off as an E rank, which is the lowest level.
Oh, wow.
Which means he's constantly facing these life or death situations.
Oh, man. So that explains those intense scenes right off the bat in season 2. Like episode 1, you aren't E rank, are you? Yeah. It just throws Jinwoo right into this battle against this whole army of ice bears.
Oh, for sure.
And the way he takes control of Igris,
yeah,
I was like practically on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Oh, yeah. That scene definitely showcases how much Jinwoo has grown since the first season.
Yeah.
He's no longer the weak and struggling hunter we were first introduced to.
Yeah.
Now he's wielding this immense power, and that's where things start to get really, really interesting.
Especially in episode 2, I suppose you aren't aware, where we meet the ice elf, Baruka.
Right.
Your notes mentioned that this encounter leads to kind of a tough decision for Jinwoo.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that at all without, giving away any spoilers or anything?
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so let's just say that Jinwoo is kind of facing a dilemma. It forces him to confront the moral implications of his power.
Okay, I see, yeah.
He's no longer just fighting for survival. He has to actually consider the consequences of his actions.
Right.
And the choices that he makes could have a significant impact on, the world around him.
Ooh, that sounds like a fascinating development for sure. It's not just about like the action and the battles anymore. It's really about exploring those deeper like ethical complexities.
For sure.
I have to admit, I am completely hooked.
Yeah.
But for anyone else who's eager to see what happens next, let's dive into the release schedule.
Sure.
Okay.
Sounds good. So episode 3 is also titled, I Suppose You Aren't Aware.
Okay.
And it's set to release this Saturday, January 18th at 5:30 p.m. in the UK.
Perfect timing for a weekend binge.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Awesome. And I see from your notes that it's directed by Tatsuya Sasaki, written by Fuka Ishii, and storyboarded by Makoto Muda.
That's right.
Wow. That's, for someone like me who loves to see the creative minds behind these works, it's really great to know who's at the helm.
Definitely speaks to the talent and dedication that's gone into crafting this season.
Yeah.
And thankfully, you won't have to wait long for the next episode.
Oh, good.
Yeah, the release schedule is really consistent.
Okay, perfect.
New episodes are dropping every Saturday on Crunchyroll here in the UK.
Amazing.
And it looks like they're sticking with the standard 13-episode format for this season.
Okay, so basically, mark your calendars and clear your schedules.
Definitely.
Now, you mentioned that Solo Leveling is based on a web novel, right?
Yes.
So does that add like another layer to the viewing experience, like knowing there's this whole other world of source material out there?
Definitely. I mean, it's like having this treasure trove of backstory and like expanded lore to like delve into.
Right.
And many fans, myself included, were first drawn to the story through the web novel.
Okay.
It's been really fascinating to see how the anime adaptation kind of brings those words to life visually.
Very cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of visual adaptations, your notes also mentioned a solo leveling film that recently hit cinemas.
Yes.
Is that connected to season 2 at all?
It's actually a standalone story.
Okay.
That kind of explores a different aspect of the solo leveling universe.
All right.
So while it's not essential viewing for following the main plot line of season 2,
Right.
it's still a great addition
Right.
for fans who want to immerse themselves further in this world.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. But for now, let's keep our focus on the main event.
Yeah.
Season 2, we've covered the premise, the first 2 episodes, and how you can catch all the action on Crunchyroll.
That's right.
Are you ready to dive a little deeper into kind of an analysis of what makes these episodes so compelling?
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Let's get into it.
Let's go. What really struck me about these first 2 episodes is how those action sequences are used to kind of reveal Jinwoo's internal conflict.
Okay.
He's incredibly powerful now.
Right.
But he doesn't just unleash his full force without any hesitation.
You're right. That scene in episode 1 where he's surrounded by all those ice bears, he actually pauses for a moment, as if he's weighing the consequences of using his full power,
right?
And it's subtle, but it just speaks volumes about how much he's changed.
Exactly. It suggests this newfound awareness of of the potential destruction that he could cause.
Right.
And it makes you wonder, is this immense power a blessing or a burden for him?
That's such a good point. And this idea of Jinwoo grappling with the burden of his power is further explored in his encounter with the ice elf Baruka.
For sure.
It's clear this isn't just a simple fight or flight situation anymore.
Right.
There's a deeper conflict at play.
Yeah. What's so fascinating here is that the writers aren't shying away from exploring these moral dilemmas that come with, being as powerful as Jinwoo is. He's faced with these choices that could have far-reaching consequences.
Yeah.
And the show doesn't offer any easy answers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I was just really captivated by that sense of moral ambiguity.
Totally.
It's not just good versus evil anymore. It's about those gray areas,
Right.
Those tough choices where there's no clear right or wrong answer.
Right. And it's kind of a reflection of the complexities of real-world issues, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really elevates solo leveling beyond, your typical action series. It makes you think about the responsibility that comes with power.
Right.
And it really encourages, the viewers to contemplate what they might do in similar situations.
Absolutely. It makes you question your own values.
Totally.
Right? And how you might react under pressure.
Yeah.
But, even with all this talk about moral dilemmas and internal conflict, solo leveling doesn't skimp on the visual spectacle, the animation this season.
It's amazing.
Take it.
Yeah, the way they brought the ice bears to life.
Yeah.
With their ferocious movements.
Yeah.
And just their menacing presence. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And then you have the ethereal beauty of the ice elf Baruka.
Yes.
With her flowing hair and icy gaze.
Yes.
The contrast is just visually stunning.
And I love how the animation style plays with the light and shadow to create this sense of both beauty and danger at the same time.
Totally.
And the fight scenes especially, they're incredibly dynamic.
Oh, for sure.
And they really capture that raw power of Jinwoo's abilities.
The animators have done a fantastic job of translating that that intensity and energy from the source material into this visual feast.
Right.
It's one of those shows where you find yourself pausing it just to admire the artistry of each frame.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the soundtrack.
Oh yeah, the music is great.
It's a perfect blend of those epic orchestral scores and more atmospheric, almost haunting melodies.
Oh really?
And it really amplifies the emotional impact of each scene.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The soundtrack just seamlessly weaves between moments of that heart-pounding action and quieter, more introspective scenes.
Right.
It's one of those soundtracks you could easily listen to on repeat.
Yeah.
And still discover these new nuances each time.
Totally. Okay, so we've talked about Jinwoo's internal struggles, the moral dilemmas he's facing, that incredible animation and soundtrack.
Yeah.
But I'm dying to know, what are your thoughts on how Jinwoo's decision regarding Garuka will impact the rest of the season?
Well, based on your notes and my own, reading of the source material, I think this encounter is going to have, significant repercussions for Jinwoo's journey. It's kind of a turning point where he's forced to confront not only those external threats, but also that internal conflict within himself.
So you're saying this isn't just like a one-off encounter. This is something that's going to continue to shape Jinwoo's path moving forward. That's exciting.
Oh, for sure.
It makes me wonder if his decision will lead to an alliance with the Ice Elf, or potentially even escalate the conflict.
Yeah. Those are definitely possibilities.
Yeah.
And I think the show is going to keep us guessing for a while.
Oh, for sure.
What's so captivating about Solo Leveling is its ability to constantly subvert expectations.
Right.
Just when you think where the story is heading, it throws in this twist that changes everything.
I love that. It keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Totally.
Constantly anticipating what's going to happen next.
For sure.
And with 11 episodes still to go.
Yeah, plenty of time.
There's plenty of time for surprises, betrayals, and those epic battles.
Speaking of betrayals, there's something I find particularly intriguing about the way Solo Leveling handles its antagonists.
Oh.
They're not just one-dimensional villains, They have their own motivations, their own backstories, which makes them surprisingly relatable at times.
That's a really good observation. You actually start to understand their perspective, even if you don't condone their actions.
For sure.
It adds this layer of complexity to the narrative.
How would?
Where the lines between good and evil become blurred.
Exactly. It challenges the audience to think critically about the characters and their motivations, rather than just, categorizing them as heroes or villains.
And that's what makes Solo Leveling so much more than just a mindless action show.
Oh, for sure.
It's a story that delves into deeper themes of power, responsibility, and the choices we make in the face of adversity.
Definitely.
But before we get too philosophical, I want to bring it back to something you mentioned earlier, the world building.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on how Solo Leveling creates this immersive and believable world for the characters to inhabit? One of the things that always pulls me into the world of Solo Leveling is how it blends the ordinary with the extraordinary.
Yeah.
You have these terrifying dungeons appearing in everyday locations schools and shopping malls.
Right.
Talk about turning your normal commute into a fight for survival.
Yeah, it's a really clever way to create that sense of constant danger and unpredictability.
Right.
It kind of reminds us that the threat of these monsters is always lurking.
Yeah.
Even in the most mundane aspects of life.
Yeah, 1 minute you're grabbing groceries, the next you're facing down a giant otherworldly creature. I think that element of surprise is a big part of what makes Solo Leveling so gripping.
Oh, for sure. And that sense of realism extends to the characters as well. Jinwoo, despite his incredible powers, he isn't portrayed as this invincible superhero. He struggles, he makes mistakes, he experiences fear and doubt, just like any of us would in those situations.
He's relatable.
Totally.
Even though he's going through these extraordinary experiences, you're rooting for him not because he's perfect, but because he's trying his best to overcome these challenges and protect those he cares about.
And his journey is one of constant growth and evolution. He's learning to control his powers, to understand their limits, and to make these difficult choices that impact not only his own life but the lives of others.
And speaking of the people around him, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the supporting characters in Solo Leveling.
Okay.
Do you think they kind of contribute to the overall richness of the story?
Sure.
Or are they overshadowed by Jinwoo's central role?
I think the supporting characters are absolutely vital to the story's depth.
Okay.
They provide these different perspectives on Jinwoo's journey, and they challenge him in ways that push his character development.
Okay.
Take Cha Hai-in, for example.
Right.
Her strength and independence. It contrasts with Jinwoo's initial reliance on his newfound power.
Right.
And their interactions, they force him to confront his own vulnerabilities and to consider, a more collaborative approach.
It's true. Cha Hae-in isn't just there to be rescued.
Right.
She's a powerful hunter in her own right.
Yeah.
And she challenges Jinwoo's assumptions about strength and leadership.
For sure. And then you have characters like Eugenio,
right,
who provide this much needed dose of humor.
Yes.
And lightheartedness amidst all the, amidst all the intense action.
Exactly. Eugenio's loyalty and unwavering belief in Jinwoo, it brings this sense of camaraderie and warmth to the story.
Yeah, definitely.
He's a reminder that even in a world filled with danger, there's still room for friendship and humor. So we've explored those moral dilemmas, the world building, that incredible visuals and soundtrack and the supporting cast.
Right.
But for someone like you, who's deeply familiar with the source material, where do you see the story heading in these remaining episodes of season 2?
Well, without giving away, any major spoilers.
Yeah, of course.
I think we can expect to see Jinwoo confronting, even greater challenges.
Okay.
His decision regarding Baruka is likely to have this ripple effect throughout the season, leading to, new alliances and conflicts. And as he continues to level up, he'll inevitably attract the attention of even more powerful beings, both good and evil.
That sounds intense. It feels like we're just scratching the surface of the mystery surrounding Jinwoo's powers and the true origins of these dungeons. I'm eager to see how it all unfolds.
And I think the writers are going to keep us guessing until the very end. Solo Leveling is known for its its clever plot twists and unexpected reveals.
Thinking back to episode 2 and that cliffhanger ending.
Yeah.
With Jinwoo facing that crucial decision.
Right.
What kind of tough decision do you think he could be grappling with? Could it be something that forces him to choose between, his own safety and the fate of others? Or maybe it's a choice that challenges his beliefs about, what it means to be a hunter.
Those are excellent questions.
Yeah.
And I think the beauty of Solo Leveling is that it doesn't offer easy answers.
Yeah, that's true.
It invites us to ponder those complexities alongside the characters.
Right.
To grapple with those ethical dilemmas.
Yeah.
And to come to our own conclusions.
It's like a choose your own adventure, but for your mind. So much to think about. So much to anticipate.
Definitely.
I guess we'll all have to tune in to Crunchyroll every Saturday to see what unfolds.
Every Saturday.
But you know what? I wouldn't want it any other way.
I know. It's so good.
This deep dive into Solo Leveling Season 2 has been absolutely exhilarating, and I'm so excited to see what happens next. Thanks for joining me.
It's been my pleasure. And remember, for those of you diving into Solo Leveling for the first time, you can catch up on Season 1 and the latest episodes of Season 2, all on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, definitely check it out.
Happy viewing.